Mamdani.
The people who love Mamdani the most are not people who pay bills every day. I'm not saying that applies to everybody. I'm not applying that. But they certainly not people that pay bills every day all the time. You don't see business owners clamoring to support them. I'm just saying these things are important to bring up.
Stephen A didn't hold back, bro. How can you not agree with that? You know, no wealthy people that I know of, that I see on television, is supporting Mamdani. It's the young, ignorant folk that you see on these interviews that show up and you say, why do you like Mamdani? Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Mamdani. Like, I think that most people can realize that this was a bad choice for New York. However, the young people of New York, they want this to happen. Like, we can't get mad at people that want communism. To be honest, like, we can get mad at people that didn't want communism, but they refused to vote and they did not participate in the process. Therefore, they allowed the enemy to win. But we can't get mad at people that want communism. So let's let them have communism. And then once they have communism, then they can see that it don't work. And then the pendulum will swing back to a Republican. I almost can guarantee, or at least a Democrat that got some common sense. But let's get to the subject at hand. So allegedly 50 Cent is going to leave New York. Now, here's a clip that he put out subliminally on his social media. And y'all know that he's a troll many of times. And so here's a clip, real quick clip that's been going viral. Roll the clip.
Put it in the comment section. Put it in the comment section.
I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. I cannot imagine somebody that has a lot of wealth that say, I have the ability and flexibility to move out of the city of New York, move to New Jersey, move somewhere else north, move to Florida, move to Texas. And I don't see how they do not make that step within this 4 years. I can't see it happening. Hey, before we get too deep into this, I want you to see how the media is talking about this, how the news outlets are talking about this on paper. Let's look at a few things real quick. If you go on and look at what Trump has said about Mamdani in New York City, you can see that really both sides, the left and the right, are equally talking about this, right? The first article that I see here, it says Trump backpedals on funding threats, says that he will help Mamdani a little bit, right? Mamdani election brandishes threats of communism, and then it goes on and it talks about sovereignty on both sides. Now, the Democrats have, or the left have, a little slight lean to it, obviously, but they're still talking about the same thing. Some of the first articles that we see on the right side is Trump says America lost a little sovereignty. It goes on to say New York election, lost sovereignty. That's one of the biggest things on the right that they're pushing. Mamdani, he'll help them out a little bit. So both sides are effectively giving a balanced perspective on Donald Trump with a slight lean to the left, slight lean to the right. We get it. This is how it happens. But you can see the totality of how it's covered on both sides is that people are talking about Trump possibly helping, and then also people are expressing the fact that they lost a little bit of sovereignty. And I think people don't realize that as of yet. And don't forget the blind spot. Check out the blind spot to make sure that the left and the right, depending on what side you're on, that you can consume articles that your side ain't talking about. But if you enjoy Ground Out News and you want to be informed in the totality of what's going on in the media, you can join the Vantage program, which is the unlimited plan, which is the plan that I have, 40% off. All you have to do is go to Ground Out News. That is ground.news/Tatum. The link will be in the description section. Make sure you are informed with news that cover everything. But you know who else had something to say that I thought was absolutely incredible? And this is why I love Stephen A. Smith. And when I come back on Monday, I'm going to interview Stephen A. Smith because I want to hear Stephen A. Smith on my show talk about this stuff, because it is 100% an issue that most tax-paying people, adults with a job, career, and entrepreneurial spirit, this is what they feel about Mamdani. Roll the clip.
I'm going to tell you why I'm not happy about it. I like Mamdani. I'm looking forward to interviewing him. He's promised to be on this show. But I'm very, very concerned about some of the things that he said. I'm very concerned about what he once said about defunding the police. I'm calling 911. I'm being real with you. I'm calling 911. That's what I'm doing. I don't want to see less police officers. I want to see more police officers. I heard him talk about mental health experts in the subway system. I don't care about that. I want cops in the subways in New York City, where I was born and raised. Born in the Bronx, raised in Queens. That's what I want. I want to hear about no damn mental health experts in subways. Nah, I'm not trying to hear that, okay? 2% tax on the rich. Okay, fine. 11.5% capital gains tax. On its face, okay, fine. Free buses? Free grocery stores in each borough? Really? Really think that's going to work? Ladies and gentlemen, we're at a crossroads in this nation. And there's no way to slice it. And the level of vitriol that you see amongst the American citizen is because, God forbid, that you have a difference of opinion. It's not enough to agree. You know, people have to be disagreeable. And you have to be selfish if you're a person that's rich, that's making money, and you don't want to pay your fair share of taxes. Well, when you think about the billionaires in the state, in the city of New York, they make up about 48% in terms of the amount of taxes that they dole out compared to the average American, compared to the rest of New Yorkers. And if you're talking about raising their taxes while doing these other things, you're making New York unattractive, not just for residents, but for businesses. And if you make it unattractive for businesses and you don't, and you compromise the ability to be the capitalist that these people are, then they take their businesses elsewhere. So the money that they paid on their homes or in rent, they move out of the city or the state. Businesses follow. And ultimately the tax burden falls on to New Yorkers out there, which means that rent freezes, which is also something that Mamdani pushed. Is that really going to be plausible? Are you really going to be able to freeze rent? Or are you going to end up hiking it? Because you don't have enough people here to pay it. Tax revenue, where you getting that from? See, these are all the kind of things that we have to connect the dots and ask ourselves, 1 + 1, does it equal 2? Is it really plausible that these things are going to happen? According to Mayor Hochul, 90% of the stuff Mamdani said he can't do on his own. He got to come through her and the state legislature in order to get it done. Is he going to be able to do that? What level of support is he going to have outside of young whippersnappers out there who love him and are so in love with his personality and everything else that they didn't really dot the I's and cross the T's and look at actual policies and the kind of effect that's going to have on New Yorkers? That's what I'm worried about. I hope I'm wrong. Because talking to him, I liked him. I'm looking forward to sitting down and interviewing with him. I just want to know where the money coming from. See, I count. Okay? I count. And I can't tell you how many young teenagers, it could be daughters, it could be nieces and nephews, it could be friends and family members or relatives of folks along that age gap. And you're asking the same question. And you know what you come up with? The people who love Mamdani the most are not people who pay bills every day. I'm not saying that applies to everybody. I'm not applying that. But they certainly not people that pay bills every day all the time. You don't see business owners clamoring to support them. I'm just saying these things are important to bring up.
Stephen A didn't hold back, bro. How can you not agree with that? You know, no wealthy people that I know of, that I see on television, is supporting Mamdani. It's the young, ignorant folk that you see on these interviews that show up and you say, why do you like Mamdani? They have no, listen, man, it's like when your children, if you ever gave your children an opportunity to run the house, they have no experience working, building, paying bills, paying taxes. They have no experience taking care of somebody else and the good and bad and ugly that goes along with that. They have no ability. So if you leave it up to them to make a decision, they're going to say crazy things because they have no wisdom and understanding of how life really works. So when you're telling young people, look, you're going to get free transportation. These kids don't even use the transportation. But it sounds virtuous to have it. These kids are going to Whole Foods. A lot of these young people are going to Whole Foods and these really popular, nice grocery stores. They're not going to the dirty ones in the hood. And then they're saying, but I can get free groceries. Well, you're not going to get free groceries at Whole Foods. You're not going to get free groceries at Trader Joe's, which is probably no Trader Joe's in New York. But you're not finna get free food at the organic, nice places with the smoothies. You finna get government food. They finna give you the bare minimum. And you know what's going to happen? I don't know why people don't understand this. They're going to have to ration the food to you. Because you can't go in the grocery store and get 3 eggs because you're a bigger person or you're trying to gain weight or you heavy on the protein. You go in the grocery store, they like, no, you can only have 2 eggs at a time. I'm sorry. No, you can only get 1 milk at a time. No. You only can get 2 protein powders. 1 per month. You like, wait a minute. I have a different lifestyle choice than another person. Why do I have to be succumb to having this type of nutritional workout plan for you guys? And that's because the government is going to curate what you can eat and what you can't eat. If it's free, they can't just let everybody go in the grocery store and buy as many groceries as they can. Then everybody will buy the toilet paper. Everybody will buy the toothpaste or whatever is in there. They'll buy 6, 7, 8 of them, give them to their family members, resell them online. Come on, bro. Do you really think that's going to work? And then what happens when a homeless person comes in and say, I want free food? And they don't want to follow the rules. They don't want to have a voucher in their hand. They go in there and grab all the food they want and walk right out. What's going to happen when they start doing that? What's going to happen when all these people flood the grocery store at the same time and you can't even get in there to eat nothing? Come on, bro. The DMV should have proved this to y'all 100,000 years ago. You can't go to the DMV and get reasonable service anywhere in the country. You're waiting long lines, crazy delays, people hate their job. And I bet you $1 million that they're going to replace the grocery store with an automated grocery store. So therefore, people are not going to have jobs. Y'all can't be serious. But I know why it happened. I just think it's silly. Anyway, y'all comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about 50. Let me know what you think about what Stephen A. Smith said. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out.